Emotional Intelligence is a globally acclaimed bestseller with over 5 million copies sold, solidifying its position as a must-read in the field of psychology and self-development. The book, authored by Daniel Goleman, delves deeply into the concept of emotional intelligence, EQ, explaining that it encompasses far more than just the ability to recognize or manage one's own emotions. It influences every part of our lives, relationships, work performance, decision-making, and overall well-being. Goleman presents a compelling case that EQ plays a pivotal role in determining success, sometimes even more so than cognitive intelligence, IQ. The core of the book revolves around the idea that emotional intelligence is not just an innate talent but a skill that can be developed and refined. Goleman explores 5 key components of EQ: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Each of these is shown to be essential for both personal and professional success. He argues that individuals who master these components are better equipped to handle stress, navigate social complexities, and make effective decisions, particularly in leadership roles. What sets emotional intelligence apart from many psychological works is its break from the traditional, overly rational approach that has dominated psychology for decades. Goleman highlights that emotions are not just byproducts of thoughts but serve a vital function in guiding behavior, maintaining relationships, and fostering well-being. He emphasizes that emotional intelligence can influence everything from interpersonal relationships to professional success. Goleman also provides valuable insights into how EQ can be developed. He suggests practical strategies to raise your emotional intelligence, such as mindfulness practices, active listening, and emotional literacy exercises. These strategies help readers cultivate empathy, manage emotional responses, and improve interpersonal dynamics. In addition to the personal benefits, the book provides an in-depth exploration of how EQ can affect organizational success. Leaders with high EQ foster more productive, harmonious work environments, as they are better at motivating teams, resolving conflicts, and promoting open communication. Through numerous studies and real-life examples, Goleman shows how emotionally intelligent leaders outperform those who rely solely on their technical or cognitive abilities. Ultimately, emotional intelligence offers a refreshing perspective by bridging the gap between intellect and emotion, providing readers with practical tools to enhance their emotional lives. It's a transformative read for anyone looking to better understand themselves, improve relationships, and succeed in various aspects of life. This book is ideal for anyone who disagrees with traditional methods of measuring intelligence. If you believe that intelligence is more than just a number on an IQ test, Emotional Intelligence offers a compelling alternative view, focusing on the importance of emotional awareness and social skills. Anyone wondering if IQ determines success, if you've ever questioned the role of IQ in achieving success, this book will shed light on why emotional intelligence often plays a more significant role in personal and professional accomplishments. Anyone trying to maximize their own potential, for those seeking personal growth, leadership skills, or simply wanting to improve their relationships, this book provides practical strategies to enhance emotional intelligence, helping you unlock your full potential in various areas of life. The author of Emotional Intelligence is Daniel Goleman, a renowned psychologist and prolific writer. Over the course of his distinguished career, Goleman has received numerous accolades, including a Lifetime Achievement Award from the American Psychological Association, and he has been nominated twice for the prestigious Pulitzer Prize. His body of work spans diverse topics, from meditation to ecology, but he is best known for his extensive writings on the connection between emotions, performance, and leadership. Through his groundbreaking research, Goleman has reshaped our understanding of how emotional intelligence influences both personal and professional success. This book can help you by offering a deeper understanding of how emotions influence every aspect of your life, not just in personal relationships or moments of conflict. While many people believe emotions are only relevant in romantic contexts or arguments, in reality, emotions affect our decision-making, perceptions, and interactions with others in every setting, from work to family life. Emotional intelligence explains in detail how emotions can sometimes lead us astray, but more importantly, how they can be harnessed to make better decisions and improve interactions with others. By focusing on emotional intelligence, EI, the book shows you how to manage your emotions effectively, turning them into tools that help you achieve positive outcomes and avoid negative consequences. It teaches you how to develop a balance between the rational and emotional parts of your brain, allowing you to approach life more thoughtfully and harmoniously. The book also provides practical strategies for learning and expanding your emotional intelligence, helping you to strengthen your self-awareness, empathy, and social skills. Additionally, the book answers fascinating questions about how emotional intelligence develops and why it is essential not just for personal success, but for the well-being of society as a whole. It's a guide to understanding emotions as a powerful, everyday force and offers a roadmap to using them to your advantage. Emotions are far more than just fleeting feelings. They are critical to our survival, learning, and social interactions. They play an integral role in shaping how we navigate the world, providing advantages that help us live a richer and more meaningful life. While some might argue that emotions can be obstacles, leading to irrational decisions or unnecessary conflicts, removing emotions entirely would deprive us of essential tools for thriving as human beings. Learning from emotions, shaping experiences. One of the most significant ways emotions benefit us is by helping us learn from past experiences. When the brain stores memories, it doesn't just retain factual information but also the emotional context of those events. This emotional memory serves as a guiding force in future decision-making. For example, a young child who touches a hot stove will experience the sharp, immediate pain of being burned. The brain not only remembers the physical act of touching the stove but also records the pain associated with it. In the future, the child will recall the pain whenever faced with a similar situation, thus avoiding potential harm. Without the emotional imprint of pain, such crucial lessons would not be as deeply ingrained, leaving the individual vulnerable to repeating harmful behaviors. Emotions serve as warning signals, teaching us how to navigate our environment and avoid danger. Understanding others, enhancing social awareness. Another crucial advantage emotions offer is the ability to read and understand other people's feelings. Our ability to interpret the emotions of those around us helps us predict their actions, fostering smoother social interactions and even preventing potential conflicts. For instance, if you encounter someone who appears visibly angry, clenched fists, furrowed brows, and a raised voice, you can infer their emotional state and anticipate their next move. You might sense that they are on the verge of lashing out physically or verbally, allowing you to prepare accordingly or even diffuse the situation. This ability to interpret emotional cues is vital in both personal and professional environments. It allows us to respond appropriately, fostering empathy and better communication. Without emotions, such nuanced understanding of others would be lost, making human interaction cold and detached. Spurring action, the emotional catalyst. Emotions also serve as powerful motivators for action. They prompt us to respond quickly to various situations, whether to protect ourselves, seize an opportunity, or connect with others. Take the example of the angry individual once more. Upon sensing the threat of escalating aggression, your emotions, fear, anxiety, or even anger, prepare you to react defensively. This heightened emotional state sharpens your instincts, giving you the physical and mental alertness to act swiftly if necessary. Without emotions driving us, we would lack the urgency to respond to threats or challenges. In fact, historical examples demonstrate the detrimental effects of losing the ability to feel emotions. In the 19th century, psychiatric patients who underwent a lobotomy, a procedure that severed connections between parts of the brain, lost much of their emotional processing capacity. While the surgery was initially seen as a way to control severe mental disorders, it often left patients in a state of emotional numbness. These individuals lost not only their motivation to act but also their ability to engage meaningfully with the world. Devoid of emotions, they became passive, disconnected, and unresponsive, illustrating just how essential emotions are for the will to live, act, and connect. Emotions as a bridge between rationality and humanity. While some may argue that an entirely rational, emotionless existence could lead to better decisions, such a life would strip away what makes us human. Emotions are not just chaotic forces to be tamed, they are guides that help us balance logic with empathy, action with reflection. Emotions can enhance rational thinking by providing context and depth, helping us weigh the emotional consequences of our choices. In fact, the ideal balance is not to remove emotions but to manage them effectively. Emotional intelligence, EI, plays a key role in ensuring that our emotions work in harmony with our rational minds. When we cultivate emotional intelligence, we can better control our reactions, make thoughtful decisions, and build stronger relationships with others. Emotions are not the enemy of reason, they are its ally, helping us navigate a world that is as much about human connection as it is about logic and analysis. Ultimately, emotions are essential for a fulfilling life. They help us learn from the past, connect with others, and motivate us to take action. Rather than obstacles to be overcome, emotions are tools that, when used wisely, enrich our lives and help us thrive in an ever-changing, complex world. While emotions are essential tools for understanding and interacting with the world, they also come with certain flaws that can distort our judgment and lead to irrational behavior. At times, emotions can overwhelm our capacity for rational thinking, clouding our ability to make sound decisions. Overstimulation, a mind overwhelmed by emotions. One of the most common ways emotions distort judgment is when we become overstimulated by strong feelings. To think clearly and make wise decisions, our minds need to process information coherently. However, like a juggler who can only handle a limited number of objects, our brain can only focus on a few things at once. When we are flooded with intense emotions, whether it be fear, anger, or excitement, our thoughts become dominated by these emotions, leaving little room for rational analysis. In moments of extreme emotional arousal, the brain prioritizes emotional responses over logical reasoning. For instance, when you're frightened, you may find yourself overreacting and perceiving a situation as far more dangerous than it truly is. This happens because when new information enters the brain, part of it bypasses the rational brain, the neocortex, and goes directly to the emotional brain, the amygdala. If the emotional brain interprets the information as a potential threat, it triggers an immediate emotional response before the rational brain has a chance to analyze the situation logically. A classic example of this occurs when you're walking through a forest at night and suddenly see a strange shape moving. Instinctively, your emotional brain might interpret this as a potential threat, causing you to startle or react defensively. Only after a few seconds does your rational mind kick in, allowing you to realize it was just a harmless shadow or a small animal. Emotional baggage, how past emotions shape current behavior. Another way emotions can distort our judgment is when past emotional experiences influence how we behave in the present, even when circumstances have changed. Often, we carry emotional baggage from previous situations, which causes us to react irrationally to current events based on outdated patterns of behavior. For example, imagine a man who was bullied as a child. Even though he grows up to become strong and successful, he might still struggle with feelings of inadequacy or fear when confronted with social situations that remind him of his childhood trauma. His past emotional wounds continue to shape his present behavior, causing him to feel threatened or anxious even when there is no real danger. These lingering emotional patterns can distort his perception of reality, making it difficult for him to respond rationally. Emotions and the need for management. While emotions are powerful and essential for navigating life, they can sometimes take control of our minds, leading to impulsive or irrational actions. This is why it's crucial to develop strategies for managing emotions effectively. Emotional intelligence, EI, is the key to balancing emotional responses with rational thought. By becoming more aware of your emotions, learning to regulate them, and understanding the impact they have on your decisions, you can prevent emotions from overwhelming your logical thinking. Mindfulness, deep breathing, and pausing before reacting are a few techniques that can help you regain control when emotions run high. These strategies allow you to create a mental space between the emotional reaction and the logical response, giving your rational brain time to process the situation and make more informed decisions. In conclusion, while emotions are invaluable in helping us connect with others, learn from our experiences, and take action, they can also cloud our judgment and cause us to act irrationally. Understanding how emotions influence decision-making and learning how to manage them effectively can help us achieve a better balance between emotional reactions and logical reasoning. Managing emotions to stay focused on your goals. Emotional intelligence is not just about managing emotions in the moment, it also helps you stay focused on long-term goals by managing conflicting emotions. Life is full of situations where your emotions pull you in different directions, but EI helps you navigate these internal conflicts with balance and clarity. For example, imagine you have a school assignment to complete, but you'd rather attend a film festival with your friends. Emotional intelligence helps you recognize the tension between your desire for immediate fun and your responsibility to finish your work. Instead of being controlled by the euphoria of the festival, EI allows you to delay gratification by reminding yourself of the satisfaction and accomplishment that will come from finishing the assignment. In this case, you might try to find an aspect of the subject that piques your interest, allowing you to focus and stay engaged despite the initial lack of enthusiasm. Emotional intelligence encourages you to reframe the situation, helping you see the value in completing the task, even if it's not your favorite subject. Achieving success through emotional regulation. One of the most profound impacts of emotional intelligence is that it enables you to succeed in areas where traditional intelligence, IQ, may fall short. Studies have shown that students with high emotional intelligence often outperform their peers academically, even if their IQs are lower. This is because they can organize their time, manage stress, and maintain motivation in the face of challenges. For example, students who are able to regulate their emotions and delay gratification often excel in their studies. They can push through boredom or frustration, stay focused on long-term goals, and find ways to engage with their work. Emotional intelligence gives them the tools to maintain emotional stability and stay on track, even when faced with distractions or setbacks. In conclusion, emotional intelligence is a key factor in achieving personal and professional success. By recognizing and managing your emotions, reframing situations, and maintaining focus on your goals, you can harness the power of emotions to improve every aspect of your life. Emotional intelligence allows you to navigate challenges with grace, build stronger relationships, and stay motivated even in difficult circumstances, ultimately leading to greater fulfillment and success. Emotional intelligence, EI, is crucial not only for managing your own emotions but also for navigating social interactions effectively. In today's interconnected society, where relationships play a significant role in our well-being and success, having a high level of emotional intelligence is essential for maintaining meaningful and positive connections with others. Understanding and empathy, the key to better social interactions. One of the primary ways EI enhances social interactions is by enabling empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. When you can accurately identify your own emotions, you gain a better understanding of how others might feel in similar situations. This empathetic insight allows you to respond more thoughtfully, leading to stronger and more harmonious relationships. For example, if a friend is visibly upset after a difficult day, EI allows you to sense their distress, even without them explicitly saying so. This understanding gives you the opportunity to offer comfort or support at the right moment, creating a deeper bond of trust and compassion. Similarly, in professional settings, empathy allows you to anticipate the needs of your colleagues, fostering a collaborative and respectful work environment. Reading nonverbal cues, a silent but powerful tool. Emotional intelligence also equips you with the ability to read nonverbal cues, such as body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. These subtle signals provide valuable information about what others are feeling, even if they are not directly expressing their emotions. By being attuned to these cues, you can respond appropriately to the emotional climate of any situation, whether it's in a personal relationship or a business setting. For instance, if you notice that someone has a tense posture or avoids eye contact, you might infer that they are feeling uncomfortable or stressed. This allows you to adjust your behavior, perhaps softening your tone or giving them space, to make the interaction more positive. Recognizing these nonverbal cues helps prevent misunderstandings and promotes smoother communication. Using emotional intelligence in leadership and conflict resolution. Emotional intelligence is particularly valuable in leadership roles, where managing people and resolving conflicts is a daily responsibility. As a leader, having high EI allows you to navigate delicate situations with care and sensitivity, helping others to feel understood and supported. Consider a scenario where you are a manager dealing with an employee who frequently makes the same mistake. If you approach the situation without emotional intelligence, you might come across as harsh or critical, which could lead the employee to become defensive or disengaged. However, if you empathize with their position, you can address the issue in a more constructive way, perhaps by acknowledging their efforts while gently guiding them toward improvement. This not only encourages positive change but also helps to maintain a respectful and productive working relationship. Emotional intelligence is also a critical skill in conflict resolution. It helps you remain calm and objective, even when emotions run high. By recognizing the emotions of all parties involved, you can mediate disputes with empathy and fairness, ensuring that everyone feels heard and valued. This ability to defuse tension and promote understanding is invaluable in maintaining a positive and cooperative environment. Strengthening social bonds and personal relationships. High emotional intelligence helps you build stronger social bonds, both in your personal life and in broader social contexts. Whether you're teaching, managing a team, or simply interacting with friends and family, EI enables you to create meaningful connections based on mutual respect and understanding. For example, if a close friend is going through a tough time, your emotional intelligence allows you to be a supportive presence, offering comfort without overwhelming them with advice or solutions. Similarly, in family dynamics, EI helps you navigate the complex web of emotions that often arise, allowing for more open and compassionate communication. Enhancing your ability to influence and lead. People with high emotional intelligence are often drawn to roles that involve leadership, teaching, counseling, or conflict resolution because these positions require a deep understanding of human emotions and interpersonal dynamics. EI helps them not only manage their own emotional responses but also influence others in a positive way, making them effective leaders and communicators. For instance, in a workplace setting, a manager with high EI can inspire their team by recognizing their individual strengths, offering encouragement, and providing constructive feedback. This kind of leadership fosters loyalty and motivation, as employees feel understood and valued. In turn, this leads to higher job satisfaction and productivity. Conclusion: emotional intelligence is essential for thriving in society. In a world where relationships are the foundation of both personal and professional success, emotional intelligence is the key to navigating complex social dynamics. It helps you understand, manage, and respond to emotions, both yours and others, in ways that promote positive interactions and lasting connections. By developing your emotional intelligence, you can enhance your empathy, strengthen your social bonds, and become more effective in leadership, conflict resolution, and everyday relationships. Ultimately, emotional intelligence is the skill that ensures you don't just survive in society, you thrive. Emotional intelligence, EI, requires maintaining a delicate balance between the feeling brain, which generates emotions, and the thinking brain, responsible for logical and rational thought. These two parts of the brain are intricately linked by nerve pathways that help us regulate and process our emotions in real time. The connection between the thinking and feeling brain. The feeling brain, often associated with the limbic system, is where emotional responses are born. The thinking brain, or the neocortex, helps us process these emotions rationally. Emotional intelligence depends heavily on the smooth functioning of this connection, as it allows us to interpret emotional stimuli and respond in a measured and thoughtful way. If this connection is damaged, it disrupts our emotional regulation. For instance, people who have undergone surgery that severs the connection between the two hemispheres of the brain, like some patients who had split brain surgery, lose their emotional awareness. Without communication between the feeling brain and the thinking brain, they struggle to perceive and process emotions, leading to a significant reduction in emotional intelligence. How emotional self-control works. When faced with an emotional stimulus, such as a sudden loud noise, the emotional brain reacts almost instantly, assessing the situation as potentially dangerous and triggering an automatic alert response. This is the fight or flight mechanism that helps protect us from threats. However, not all stimuli require such a heightened response, and this is where the thinking brain steps in. The thinking brain analyzes the situation more deeply. After the initial emotional reaction, it reassesses the stimulus, determining whether the perceived threat is real. If the thinking brain concludes that there is no danger, it sends signals to calm the emotional brain and the body, allowing us to regulate our emotions and react more appropriately. For example, if you hear a loud crash but quickly realize it was just a book falling off a shelf, the thinking brain tells your emotional brain to relax, preventing you from overreacting. What happens when the connection is broken? When the communication between the feeling and thinking brain is disrupted, emotional regulation becomes much harder. Individuals with damage to their thinking brain, such as those with certain brain injuries, often struggle to manage their emotions. They may overreact to stimuli because their emotional brain takes over without any input from the thinking brain to provide a rational perspective. Without the ability to regulate emotions through the thinking brain, people become more prone to emotional outbursts, impulsive actions, and difficulty in self-control. This highlights the importance of a balanced relationship between both parts of the brain in developing and maintaining emotional intelligence. Conclusion: the need for harmony between thought and emotion. Emotional intelligence thrives on the harmony between the feeling and thinking brain. This relationship allows us to interpret and control our emotional responses, ensuring we don't overreact to stimuli and can manage our feelings in a healthy way. By strengthening this connection, we become better equipped to understand, manage, and harness our emotions effectively. The future of society hinges significantly on the emotional intelligence, EQ, of its children. While people with high EQ often lead happy and healthy lives, a lack of emotional intelligence can have devastating consequences for society, contributing to rising crime rates, violence, and other social problems. The impact of low EQ on society. One striking example is the sharp rise in the teen homicide rate in the United States between 1965 and 1990, which may be linked to a decline in emotional competence. Studies suggest that a lack of emotional intelligence increases the risk of destructive behaviors like vandalism, which contributes to elevated crime rates. Delving deeper, research has found that juvenile delinquents often struggle with controlling their impulses and reading others' facial expressions, deficiencies that are also found in adult offenders, including those involved in sex crimes. Similarly, addicts, particularly heroin users, often face challenges in managing their emotions, particularly anger, even before they become dependent on the drug. These examples illustrate how emotional deficits can manifest in behaviors harmful not just to the individual but to society as a whole. EQ and children's well-being. Emotional intelligence plays a vital role in a child's future success and well-being. Studies have shown that children raised in emotionally supportive environments tend to develop higher EQ. Furthermore, children with emotionally intelligent parents often have better emotional regulation, lower stress levels, higher academic achievement, and more positive evaluations from their teachers. Not surprisingly, a child's EQ is closely linked to their overall mental and emotional health. Children who lack emotional awareness, empathy, or impulse control are more prone to mental health challenges and often struggle more in school. The role of emotional intelligence in shaping future leaders. Given the profound influence EQ has on individuals and society, it is crucial for adults to nurture emotional intelligence in children. Today's children will become tomorrow's leaders, parents, administrators, politicians, and decision-makers who will shape communities. A society led by individuals who can empathize, manage conflicts, and avoid impulsive decisions will be far more harmonious and prosperous. While many factors shape the future of communities, EQ is undeniably one of the most important. Investing in the emotional development of children today will lead to more compassionate and emotionally intelligent leaders tomorrow, which will benefit society as a whole. Some ways to raise your emotional intelligence, EQ. Having learned about the significance of emotional intelligence in enhancing fulfillment and overall well-being, you may be wondering, is it possible to increase my EQ? The answer is a resounding yes. There are several effective exercises you can practice to enhance your emotional intelligence. 1. Boosting self-awareness and self-management. A great starting point for improving your EQ is through inner dialogues. This practice encourages you to identify and label your feelings, fostering better self-awareness and emotional regulation. Example exercise: imagine your best friend is sharing their marital issues with everyone except you, leaving you feeling angry. Begin an inner dialogue by asking yourself reflective questions. Why am I feeling upset? Is it because my best friend is ignoring me? By recognizing your emotions and tracing their source, you can address the negativity. For instance, you might reframe your thoughts: maybe my friend didn't want to burden me because they thought I was busy. This shift in perspective can help ease your feelings of anger and cultivate a more empathetic response. 2. Enhancing empathy. Empathy is a crucial component of emotional intelligence, and one effective way to cultivate it is by mimicking others' body language. This exercise works because gestures do more than reflect emotions, they can also evoke them. Example exercise: when interacting with someone, observe their body language. If they appear relaxed, try subtly mirroring their posture. By adopting a similar stance, you can cultivate a sense of relaxation within yourself, allowing for a deeper emotional connection and understanding. 3. Fostering self-motivation and positive thinking. To improve your self-motivation and cultivate a more positive mindset, reflect on how you interpret your successes and failures. Example mindset shift. Own your failures. When faced with setbacks, adopt the belief that you can control your outcomes. Instead of blaming external factors, recognize your role in the situation. For instance, think, I can change my approach next time to achieve better results. This belief fosters resilience and perseverance. Avoid fixed mindsets. Be cautious of attributing personal deficiencies to fixed traits. If you believe your abilities are unchangeable, you may give up easily when faced with challenges. Instead, embrace a growth mindset that focuses on learning and improvement. Remind yourself that with effort and determination, you can overcome obstacles. By implementing these strategies, engaging in inner dialogues, mimicking body language, and shifting your mindset, you can significantly enhance your emotional intelligence. Developing EQ not only leads to a more fulfilling life but also fosters better relationships and social interactions, ultimately contributing to a healthier, more empathetic society. Using emotional intelligence in everyday situations. Now that you've gained some insights into emotional intelligence, EI, you might be wondering how to apply this knowledge in practical, everyday situations. Here are some tips to help you effectively use EI across various aspects of your life, from work to your love life. 1. Navigating relationships. Understanding the different ways that men and women handle emotions can prevent misunderstandings in your relationships. Typically, women are encouraged to express their feelings openly and connect through intimate conversations, while men may be taught to downplay emotions that could expose vulnerability. Example scenario: imagine your girlfriend confides in you about a problem she's facing. Her intention is often to seek validation and support rather than a quick solution. If your instinct is to jump in with advice, she might perceive it as dismissive, as if you're not acknowledging her feelings. Instead, focus on being a good listener. Show that you understand and empathize with her feelings, allowing her to feel supported. 2. Managing anger in conflicts. During arguments, it's easy to let strong emotions cloud your judgment. If you find yourself getting very angry, it's crucial to pause and take a moment to calm down. Strong emotions can lead to impulsive reactions that you may later regret. Practical tip: consider monitoring your physiological responses during conflicts. Marriage counselors suggest paying attention to your heart rate. If it increases by more than 10 beats per minute, it's a sign that you may be too emotionally charged to think clearly. In such cases, take a break. Step away, breathe deeply, and collect your thoughts before re-engaging in the discussion. 3. Providing constructive feedback. When you need to criticize someone, approach the conversation with a focus on clarity and support. Being specific about the issue at hand, while also offering a solution, can make your feedback more effective and less intimidating. Example approach: instead of generalizing a complaint, pinpoint a particular error and suggest an actionable response. For instance, if a colleague missed a deadline, rather than simply stating they were late, you might say, "I noticed the report was submitted after the deadline. Next time, could we set a reminder a few days in advance to ensure it's on track?" This approach communicates the issue without leaving the other person feeling overwhelmed or attacked. Main message: emotions play a vital role in guiding and motivating our actions. However, they can also lead to irrational behavior if not managed effectively. This is where emotional intelligence becomes essential. EI encompasses a set of skills that empower you to perceive and manage both your own emotions and those of others, fostering healthier interactions and deeper connections in all areas of your life. By practicing these techniques, you can enhance your emotional intelligence and navigate life's challenges with greater ease and understanding.